Looking good, YouTube. My name's Love Game, and I'm a man destined to be king. And today I have a very special guest with me. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, I am the genius at work, and I am drunk.
Yes, our genius at work here supplied me with not only Fireball, but also a bottle of some of the Jack. So I'm very thankful for that, by the way. Thank you very much for supplying me with that. That was a great deed you did in the name of love. Gonna go ahead and upgrade the Black Knight sword here because the way I see it, we can get more Twinkling Titanite later. We can just buy it.
It's not like a rare drop though. How'd you get? Is it? Well, you're just lucky there.
I just killed all the Titanite bugs up to this point, and they dropped it for me. In this game, unlike Dark Souls 2 and 3, the Titanite bugs actually have random drops. They're not guaranteed. That's a little difference in this game.
So they can they drop weapons and stuff?
Well, it's all upgrade material, but they can drop different kinds of upgrade material. And it's random. It's not set in stone.
Not like in Demon Souls where it was where you could it was like different types of material, like depending on where the bugs were.
Yeah, they would have like a different. Let's see. I don't have enough dexterity.
I remember you talking about like how in the Storm King's place where like
they would give the Dark Moonstone, which was very hard to get because you had to...
for that you basically had to kill yourself a bunch of times in order to get like
Black World tendency. Yes, that's what made it so hard. Anyways, today we're going to be progressing, but I want to get a few things out of the way first. I would like to go down here into the Darkroot Basin, because there's a lot of cool stuff down here that I didn't explore last time. And there's a certain mini-boss. You might know about what I'm talking about, Elijah. It's,
Hold on, man. I said my name was Genius at Work. I didn't say anything about my name being...
Or should I say Hajile?
Yeah.
But
so
yeah.
It can only be like either...
Or I could say Luca, since that's what you want your name to...
No. It's pronounced Luca, because here's the thing. If it was Luca, there'd be one C, but because I put two C's in it, which I'll be honest, I think that was like...
Wasn't there a character in Chrono Trigger with that name? I swear there was a character in that game that was named that.
I don't know.
I haven't really played that in a while, so I wouldn't know.
So, and you're either talking about like the Hydra over like the end of this like...
Yes, I'm talking about the Hydra. I want to kill it.
Okay, I thought you were talking about like the Rock or like the Havoc, yeah.
I've already killed him. You're a little behind.
Okay.
But we have some golems here. Thankfully, they are weak to my certain weapon. They are weak to the crushing attacks, and they die in 2 hits. Unfortunately, that Hydra is going to be bombarding us with water the entire time, so it's going to be a bit hard to avoid that. The only saving grace being that the Hydra's water will hurt the enemy as well. Still gotta be careful though, because it's just gonna be constantly hitting us the entire time. And sometimes we can block it, but sometimes we can't. I don't know why it sometimes decides to go around my shield. It's not very consistent.
The most I've learned from speedruns and stuff is because they put like different things on like the... I think from what I'm seeing, it's the... So it's either like all of them hitting you all at once, adding all to the stuff, or it's like different like there's like different hitboxes to like the specific projectile. So like if you hit the outer one, it's like less like stamina damage.
Oh shit! Yeah, see, it hits me twice that time.
But if you hit the inner one, it's so I think it's something like that. Whereas if you hit the inner one, it's more like it does more. Takes more of your stamina.
If you get close enough, though, you can in fact get him to melee attack you, which will give you a chance to hit it back.
Apparently this is the easier one, if I'm told correctly, because there's another one at the bottom of the world, but from what I find that one easier, to be perfectly honest. This one is just...
Oh, the terrain you fight that one on is a little bit more fair, so I see why you would think that.
That and you immediately pretty much start fighting like face front to the Hydra on that one. This one you have to start like with a way
You have to
back.
work your way up to it, yes. That's true. I do love severing its head with a blunt weapon. That's quite nice, kind of like Castle Crashers. In that game, you can sever heads with maces and whatnot because all the weapons do the same animations. We're getting there, as you can see. We got, what, 4 heads off of that thing?
I don't know. I haven't been keeping count.
But yes, this is a mini boss you can fight pretty much as early as the time you actually reach Darkroot Garden, but this is a bit easier now since we're more powerful, obviously. It's kind of a given.
And if you got the DLC for this game, this is like you can reach the DLC without fighting this boss, but because this one's like right next to like the area to get to it, you pretty much need to get this boss out of the way first, because otherwise, I haven't seen anyone try and skip this and try to go to DLC specifically, but yeah, it'll constantly like try and do the water thing at you, and then it'll try and constantly bite you with this like close range attack.
Yeah, now the hard part is kind of actually hitting it with melee at this point, so we're going to try to range it instead. A little hard to do with this lightning spear, 'cause it's a
Nah,
bit
just
slow.
try to aim for the body, because like with the lightning spear, I think it has a longer range.
There we go.
There you go.
How about that?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and equip the rusted iron ring to get more speed in this part of the world. What the hell? What did he drop? Oh, okay. Blue Titanite chunk is used to make your weapon into a magic weapon if you want. There is different colored Titanite in this game that will allow you to make your weapon into different elements, you know? Kind of like magic and fire and lightning even, if you so please.
I'll be honest, this isn't my favorite Dark Souls game, but I do kind of like how unique the upgrade system is with all the different types of Titanite. It can be a little like, it's similar to Demon Souls a little bit, where like you have to go through like different types of like materials, and you have to go through specific like areas to get to it, but I do kind of like that a little bit, where it has a little bit more...
My only problem with it is the fact that you have to play through the game more than once to get the different colored slabs, like the blue Titanite slab and all of that. You have to go through the game multiple times.
Not unless you know where they are specifically, actually.
Well, I didn't know there was more than one. Because the blue Titanite slab is particularly hard to get to because you have to navigate that invisible maze.
I wouldn't say hard to get, it's just like extremely tedious, I would say.
Yeah. If you know your way around it, it's not so bad, but I'm gonna see if this works or not. If not, I'll just do it later. Okay, never mind. Well, okay, never mind. I got it.
What he did there was that in order to get to the DLC, which he has, he has to defeat this gold golem, but in order to get here, like to get the gold golem, he needs to have like the area reset. In order to do that while he was still in the area, he has to like exit in and out of the game in order for it to get the gold golem. And the reason he needs to defeat the gold golem is to get the Dusk of Ulasil.
He explained it better than I could. Yep, that's what I did. I didn't know it would spawn there for a second. I was like, wait, he's not there? And then I saw him behind me. I was like, oh, okay, I guess I must have walked right up to him.
Yeah, and to get the golem, you need to go really deep into like the side of the waterfall area. So you need to like go past the ladder, if I'm correct.
Indeed, you do. All the way to the end almost, pretty much to where it's like a dead end. But yes, this is access to the DLC, which as I'm playing the PC version, comes with the DLC automatically, so... If you in the future are playing the remastered version, it will come with the DLC as well, so... If you're
Really?
playing that, yes it will.
Huh. Will it actually finish the game?
They had the
this time?
presence of mind to make it a $40 game instead of a $60, and it comes with the DLC, so that's nice.
Really? They've announced the price already?
Yeah, it's only $40.
Oh, damn. No, I'm just curious if they're actually going to finish the game this time.
Yes, Dark Souls 1 is known as the most unfinished of the trilogy because there's a lot they had to cut out, and a lot you can tell that sort of ends in a dead end or just isn't fully finished.
In the beginning, it's not that obvious, but when you reach certain areas, like specifically like the Demon City, or like when you get to like one of the required like bosses to complete the game, it becomes blatantly obvious they didn't have time to finish it.
Yeah. This came out pretty much exactly 2 years after Demon Souls, because it was fall of 2011, and whereas Demon Souls came out fall of 2009, so it had about a 2-year development cycle, give or take, but there was definitely things that had to be cut out or not fully finished, and even the creator of the game himself has admitted that places like the Demon Ruins were his least favorite, and he regrets making them, so it's just how it is, you know?
Demon Souls, best Souls game.
I like Demon Souls a lot. I would like to Let's Play that, but I don't have a capture card right now, so I don't have a way of playing it. And this guy right here has been trying to fix my PS3. Unfortunately, he could not quite get it to be fixed, so the motherboard was fucked.
Yeah, there's a little bit of story behind that. When he gave me the PS3, at first I thought, I looked up online where it said no power, and at first the most common problem that happened with like no power is that the power source has gone bad. So okay, so I'll just check the power source, but the problem was, before I could even get into, like, the actual, like, circuit board of the power source itself, see, Sony basically figured out that the power source had been failing a lot of their consoles, so they got really pissed at that. So what they did was, usually you could unscrew, like, the power source inside your PS3 and, like, get to, like, the circuit board and, like, fix it yourself. But because the fact that's been a constant problem, they basically fused, like, the outside of the power source, so, like, you couldn't get in without, like, a soldering rod or something. So, like, okay, you know what, screw it, fine, I still think it's a power source, so I ordered another power source. Turns out that didn't work, so okay, fine. I actually got my hands a hold of, like, I forgot what the name of it is, but, like, electrometer, or, like, something that detects power. And I managed to figure out it had something to do with, like, connecting to, like, the power source to the motherboard. So my guess was, okay, it was either a cable to the motherboard connected to the power source, or it was the motherboard entirely. So I got tired playing guessing games with it. I decided to go to a repair shop and paid a diagnostic fee. And they came back to me saying, like, yep, it was in fact the motherboard, and unfortunately we couldn't replace it, so that's where we're at right now. And the plus side, we actually know what the damn problem is now.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll be able to restore that, because that has both of our Demon Souls characters on it, and it has we're decently high leveled on that game, so hopefully we'll be able to get those back, because that's kind of a legacy in and of itself. I still wish that game would have a remake, because I love Demon Souls personally, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, the reason that Demon Souls isn't going to get a sequel or anything on it is because of the fact that originally when Demon Souls was made, the guy who made it, I keep forgetting his name.
Hidetaka Miyazaki.
Yeah, that guy. He made a deal with Sony saying that, like, okay, we'll release this game specifically on Sony, but only on Sony.
And they gave them the rights for it.
Pretty much. So when he was, okay, I'll make another game. Like, no, it has to be on PlayStation. It's like, it was like, but I want to.
So they were gonna make Demon Souls 2, but then it became Dark Souls because they wanted to make a different name, and they couldn't use the name they couldn't use the trademarked name. But yeah, that's what happened. That's why Bloodborne is also a PlayStation exclusive. But yeah, I would love to play that game someday, just because I like Demon Souls a lot myself. But this guy here considers it his favorite of the Souls franchise.
What I consider the Souls franchise, honestly, is like all the Dark Souls game and the Demon Souls. I don't actually consider Bloodborne part of the Souls series, but that, and I haven't actually completed Bloodborne yet. But for what it is worth, I do consider Bloodborne fun, if at least there's some, like, for the most part, it is fun, but, like, there's, like, one or two moves, like, for the bosses and stuff that is occasionally bullshit. for example, like there's inescapable combos that you can't possibly like get away from, and you can basically instantly kill you and stuff.
Yeah, that's true. He's actually further than I am in the game. He's actually gotten past Vicar Amelia, and he's fought the next 2 bosses after that.
To be fair, you kind of made it easier, like by grinding my character for me, because
You were still lower leveled than me, though, so still, I mean, it's what it is. But yeah, I got you a few things. Anyways, I want to show off this feature before we go off to the next area. I want to show off the fact that you can feed items to Mr. Frampt here. This is the closest thing in the game to being able to sell items. And yes, he will eat dung pies. That's why his breath smells so bad. Giving the souls of certain bosses to him will give you more souls than just breaking them down yourself, so that's kind of cool. There's also the only use of copper coins in this game. But yeah, Frampt, my man, he kind of stinks. He's not the best smelling guy on the block, if you ask me.
This is one of the most confusing parts for me in terms of like Dark Souls lore and stuff, because we barely hear anything about like these eternal serpents or whatever. And basically the only thing they serve, as far as I understand, is to serve like give exposition to the plot. And
yeah,
for Frampt here, just to serve as like a sort of like shop of some sort, which in my opinion, Dark Souls 2, this is better, but just like this random character with like Gavlan, you wheel, you deal.
Oh yeah, Gavlan's a fantastic character. He's very memorable because of the way he talks and the way he wants to kind of convey his And like, I didn't know this when I played the game, but did you know Gavlan in Dark Souls 2 is committing insurance fraud because he says, "You wheel, you deal." Well, wheeling and dealing, what that means is taking something and like going and selling it to a different company for more money. So which means insurance fraud. So it's kind of something funny to look back on if you don't know about Dark Souls and you don't know about like the way he talks. Yes, he's committing insurance fraud.
I'm too drunk to understand what you just said, but all I can say is, like, I have an interesting story about Gavlan, where but the second time I got to, like, the area where he was in, like, after the first time you talked to him in, like, Brightstone Cove, or, like, the docks where you get to the boat and you go to, like, the fortress place, I forget the names. And you get to the second area where he's at, and the first dwarf character you find, I had no idea that wasn't Gavlan, but for the first time, I honestly thought that was Gavlan coming towards me, that he got hauled. I was like, oh my god, Gavlan, no! You wheel, you deal, Gavlan! No, Gavlan! I honestly felt really guilty killing him, then I realized, oh shit, that's not Gavlan. Oh, he's just in the next area. Oh.
That's true. He thought that the first Gurm is what they're called, the Gurm soldiers. He thought the first one you ran into was Gavlan, and he was just like devastated. You wheel, you deal.
To be fair, if that was Dark Souls 1, that would have been totally Gavlan. Considering that practically all of the characters go mad in this game. Oh shit, I've missed out a lot. You have the soul. Oh shit.
Yeah. I'm heading towards Sin's Fortress now. I was just gonna get rid of those things.
Oh man, I missed a lot of your parts, man. I'm just...
Well, a lot of those aren't uploaded yet as of recording this, so you don't have much of an excuse. You have an excuse, like... It's just that I've only put 3 parts up, and there's actually 12, a grand total of 12 parts I recorded prior to this, so
gotcha.
You got time.
So I just want to say, like, is that what I'm seeing, like, on your helmet, is that a mod?
It is a mod, yes,
okay.
It's a gold trim.
Oh, yeah.
It is the, some kind of elite knight. I can't remember what it was called, actually. I'll probably credit the maker of this mod if I can find it, but I don't know the name of it off the top of my head.
Interesting,
yes.
like, facts on, like, mods in terms of Dark Souls. Like, for the Dark Souls 1, I hear there are, like, you can mod your stuff, but occasionally there will be, like, you will, like, get, like, I don't think banned, but, like, just, like, some type of, like, thing where you're excluded from several online stuff. And like in Dark Souls 2, more specifically like Scholar of the First Sin edition, where if you do any sort of modding, you will basically be banned because, and as far as I can understand, the reason why is because they basically optimize that game for PC more so than for the other games. So
yeah, Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin doesn't even have official mod support because it's like, yeah, man, our game is so optimized that you're gonna enjoy it the way it is.